everybody, welcome back to Tammy Talks, and we are here today, or tonight I should say, to talk Ready to Love, Season 4, Episode 3, All Roads Lead to Love. So if you are brand new to my channel, please consider subscribing, hit the subscribe button. We are chasing 1,000 subscribers. We are literally almost there. So go ahead. If you are coming back from last week or the week before, or from any of my other YouTube videos and you still have not subscribed, please go ahead, take a moment to subscribe and thumbs up the video, like the video if you enjoyed the content. Leave some comments down below. Let's get right into it, y'all. So, this episode starts off with Tasia, going to being the first woman that's at the happy hour that I keep calling him nephew Tommy, that Tommy has set up for the remaining people. So everyone is going to meet up for this happy hour so they can do a little more talking, getting to know each other a little more, because last night a lot of them were like extremely nervous, which is understandable, but like today is all about like really starting to build some connections with some people. So Tasia gets right to it. And if she's asking the men right away, like, why was I in the bottom? Why was I in the bottom? And it's like, girl, like, don't make this a big thing. Like, you were in the bottom. You didn't rate as well as high as you expected to. Switch up, how you approached your dates. Take the time to really try to do something. You know what I mean? Like, talk to some of these men, try to build more solid connections, and just take it from there. But, like, you constantly asking, like, what happened and then having, like, an attitude about it, that's not the way to do this. So, Tyrone is going around, and they're showing poor Tyrone, who is asking these women all these random questions. Like, he asked this one woman, do you think your mom would like me? Sir, I've known you for all of like 12 hours. I don't know. He is asking all these weird questions. A lot of the women say it feels like they're being interrogated. But at least he knows that he is socially awkward. And because he knows that he is socially awkward, I think that's what helps. Like, if you know that you're a socially awkward person, then it kind of helps. It works out better for you than you thinking that you're just like this amazingly suave, smooth person. I am very socially awkward. I'm an introvert by heart. I like doing some like group things, like big settings and stuff. It is daunting if I'm there by myself. So like he knows that he's socially awkward, and God bless him. So then we see Carrington, and he is asking these women 1,000 questions right off the bat. And it feels like he's giving them interview questions. Like, and some women have even expressed that it feels like I'm being interviewed right now. So it's like, what are your top 3 this? What are your top 5 this? If I asked you this, how would you respond? And it's like, I wouldn't want another date with him because of that. I would feel uncomfortable. I would like them feel like I'm being interrogated. And that's not the look that you want to go for. Or like, it feels like more of an interview. It doesn't feel like you're trying to get to know me. It feels like you want to get a list of things about me so you can compare this list of me to this list over here of another woman. You know what I mean? So Courtney says that she enjoys going after men. So Courtney likes to let us know that she is a Leo. She says it every chance she gets, and that she fits into the Leo persona, that she likes to go after these men. She likes to approach men. She likes to be more of the aggressor. Then we have Corey. Corey stresses me out, y'all. So Corey is extremely awkward, and he meets these women, and instead of him like actually getting to know them or striking up any type of conversation, he is always immediately asking for a second or third date. So he's sitting down with Sabrina, and he's like, so when are we going to go on a date? Can I get your phone number? And she is like, look, why can't we talk right here? Why can't we have a conversation? And his line is always, I like to get people alone. and into a more quiet, calm setting. And I'm sorry, but to me, that gives stalker, serial killer vibes. I don't want somebody that I just met to tell me, yeah, I want to get you alone so we can have this like deep conversation that's more secluded and away from everybody. That's weird. That's weird. I don't even know how else to say it, but that's weird. Um, so he continually does this and it's such a turnoff. And Sabrina told him, why can't we talk right here? And he's like, well, I do better on dates. And I'm like, do you? If you do better on dates, you would not be on this show. Come on, Corey. Ooh, Corey is stressing me out, y'all. So we see that Corey, like, and then what kind of gets me too is he's like this self-deprecating person. So every time that, like, he has one bad interaction with these women, he's always like, I'm ready to go home. Send me home, y'all. Send me home. And it's like, do you want to be here or not? Did you think it would be uber easy or not? Because why do you want to go home? It's literally been, you had one bad interaction with Sabrina, who, if you recall, the night before didn't want nothing to do with you either. So why are you even shocked? So Corey is leaving, and we see that he helps Muman with a flat tire, and they end up exchanging numbers, and they go out on a date. So they meet out at a park, and when she gets there, Corey is taking selfies of himself. So they go on like this little hike, and then they get to like this little picnic, not even a picnic area. He has a picnic basket, but they get to this like area. There was a huge tree, like a tree branch, or stump, or could have been like a fallen over tree. He sets a blanket over it, and she is like, what is going on here? And he's like, oh, we're just gonna sit back and chill. Looks like they had like some fruit or like some type of salads or pasta salads, something light. So they're both straddling a tree and they're talking. And she states that acts of service are her love language. Corey said that service is what he does from 9 to 5, talking about his job. She thought it was cute and entertaining. She knows that his jokes are corny. She knows that his jokes are awkward. She acknowledges that they fall flat, but for some reason, she thinks it's cute that he's making her laugh. And it's not because she's laughing because the jokes are funny. She's laughing because the jokes are corny. So they, after talking for a little bit and deciding that, they might have another, they're deciding that they kind of want to have another date. Corey is like, okay, let me help you off the tree branch. He hops up on the tree behind her and gets his body flush up behind her. So he is straddling her, and she is like, what is going on here? What are you doing? It came across very cringy, very rapey to me. It absolutely did. I don't care what anybody says. It was low-key inappropriate, and it was like, what, nigga, what? So he gets up behind her, and he's like, we're riding on the horse. And she was like, okay. So then he starts like pumping forward, talking about this is how we're riding on the horse. And I said, throw the whole man away. What are you, no wonder you are on this show. Is this how you act on dates normally? Ooh, Jesus. So she is like taken aback by it, but she falls in stride with it, and it's just kind of like, okay. But in her mind, she's thinking, you keep up this weird shit, and this is it. But they get along, good for the most part, and they do decide that they're going to go on another date. So kudos to Corey, because she about the only person that sees it for you right now, sir. So then we have Camille and Walter, who are on a double date with Cornelius and Courtney. Now, if we remember, Camille is the crazy heifer from last week that literally said that last night that Cornelius is hers. And when he jokingly said, okay, we got the CC thing going, she was offended because her name is spelled Camille with a K. So they are on this double date, and Cornelius smiles so much, y'all. Cornelius smiles so much. He has a gorgeous smile, but he smiles so unbelievably much. So they have this group conversation about religion and spirituality, which is something that a lot of people um, need to be having a conversation about when they start dating somebody. So the women both say that they are, very heavy in the church and their Christianity, well, their religious views. Camille said she was a preacher's kid. Courtney said that, for her, having a man that has strong faith in God, that's important to her because that's how she grew up, that's how she was raised. So then Courtney asks how important sex is in a relationship. And before Courtney could even finish getting out the question, Walter yells out, a lot, very important. And he said that sex is important because when he wants sex, he wants sex. Courtney agrees that sex is very important because she's not going to marry a man unless they have sex because she needs to know if it is good or not. And I agree with that. I am always like, wow, when people say, or when women say that they would like to wait until marriage. What if you marry this man and it's not good? What if you marry this man and you guys are just not sexually compatible? That's important. That is important. So Camille the entire time is like looking at them like in disgust because if we recall, Camille wants to wait until she is married to have sex. Cornelius kind of asks, so you gonna wait? Like what happens if you like accidentally have it? And everybody's like, how you accidentally have sex? And it's like, Cornelius, you too grown to be saying that you can accidentally have sex with somebody. Sex is, if you're dating somebody, you don't accidentally have sex with somebody. It's an intentional action. Typically by both parties. I know there are instances where it is not consensual. I'm saying intentional by both parties. So before we even go down that rabbit hole, y'all know what I meant. So Camille is obsessed with Cornelius. And it makes me uncomfortable. And I think it was making everyone else at the table uncomfortable. Now, you are here on a date with Walter, sweetheart. Cornelius is here with Courtney. And Cornelius and Courtney, Courtney is very touchy-feely, so she's rubbing on Cornelius, has her hand on his thigh, and Camille is like throwing daggers at her the entire time and telling her, don't get too close, girl. Don't get too close. And I'm like, why are you crazy? Why are you crazy? It's literally the beginning. So, whatever. So then we have Zadia, who meets with Tyrone. They talk about anxiety. Zadia talks about how she, wakes up in the morning and she does different breathing exercises. If I recall, that is her job, doing different things like that. He talks about his PTSD from the service. Nothing too big happened on their date. I thought it was just, honestly, they seemed like two old friends meeting for coffee. So then we have Carrington, who meets with Aisha. Carrington called her a very polished woman because her hair and her nails were done. Aisha asks if their age difference, because she is 38 and he is 33, if that is going to work with him. Because she is looking for a man that is ready to get married and ready to settle down and ready for a long-term relationship. She's not about to sit around and play with anybody. So she's wondering if at his age, the age of 33, where he works in the nightlife field, he calls himself an event planner, you're a promoter. So she's wondering if the lifestyle that he leads by working as a promoter, where she said a lot of sex was involved and is very sex driven, but it's a nightlife lifestyle. And I feel like if you're going to date somebody that lives that kind of life and has that type of career, you need to be ready for that. And I don't think that Aisha is. She asked Carrington if he ever cheated on a woman. He said he has never had a girlfriend. Red flag. That is a big red flag. That is a big red flag. And while he said that, he is sweating. So he was like, I can't cheat on somebody if I've never been in a relationship. And I said, oh, Carrington. You are not this cute to have this arrogant aura about you. But all right. So then we have this group date with Zadia, Dante, Naeem, Shiloh, and Tessia. Tessia says she is attracted to the bald and the beautiful and the beards. She does not care. She said how the top of your hair looks, but if you have a beard, she's attracted to dark, coarse facial hair. And I agree, a beard is sexy as fuck on a man. If you have a beard, right? Because I personally feel that men have to have some type of facial hair. Excuse me. I don't care if you have a goatee, a mustache, whatever. You have to have some type of facial hair. Otherwise, you look like a thumb. That's just me. Shiloh said that her love language is physical touch. She says she's a very sensual person. The guys Naeem takes it as sex, and she said no. There's a difference between being sexual and sensual. And then he was like, yeah, I know. No, you didn't. Because you thought she was talking about sex. So you didn't know. So then Zadia asked the question of where's the freakiest place that you have ever had sex? Naeem said his shower. He said because it's dangerous with the soap and the suds on the ground. And I said, okay, you could have set this question out. Zadia said at the baseball diamond on the pitcher's mound. And then Tessia says she is not comfortable talking about her sexual escapades and endeavors in mixed company, and said that is just something that she said that she doesn't want to say, but that whoever she ends up with just needs to be ready. And I said, girl, for you to be wondering why you were in the bottom two, you're not giving a lot on this date to make anybody want to kind of, boost you up. So then we have all the women that are meeting at the wine bar with Tommy to discuss which men are at the bottom for them. Aisha was in a car accident and she could not make it, so the other 7 women went ahead and discussed this on her behalf. So Camille said she had a spark with Cornelius, crazy ass Camille. So then Tessia said Cornelius, and then it was one other person that said Cornelius, and I forgot who it was. I thought I wrote it down. But Camille was just shooting daggers, that's my man. That's my man. She even has this crazy look in her eye that I'm scared for Cornelius personally. So then we have Sabrina who says Walter and Tyrone. So then Zadia said Tyrone and Naeem, and she said that they Tyrone is a great communicator. They had this great conversation on the phone, and they just in person, and they just talked the entire time. So then we have Carrie, who said that Tyrone, she had a connection with Tyrone. When they met in person, they said they both had a connection with each other. But then Tyrone called her the next day and said that he is sorry, but they don't have a connection. She said his tone was very dry. It was very direct, and her feelings were hurt because she doesn't know what changed. So this is where it gets interesting. Shiloh said that Tyrone called her after calling Carrie and said that he is not able to entertain more than 3 women at a time. His mental, emotional, whatever capacity is for 3 women, right? And I'm thinking, why are you telling this other woman about a connection you have with somebody else? Why are you telling her that? To me, that's a red flag on Tyrone. What it is, so you're pillow talking that involves saying what you don't like. No, absolutely not Tyrone. And then Shiloh says she has a spark with Dante. Moomin said Corey. They had that one date where things did seemingly go well with them. Zadia then chimes in and says she is not feeling Corey. Corey is copy and paste. And then Sabrina said that Corey has a lot of red flags. And it's because she feels like for him, it's just the game of seeing who he can get interest in. It doesn't seem like he's really trying to build genuine connections. It seems more like a game to him. Tissia said her red flag or someone she's not feeling is Carrington because she feels like he's out politicking. She feels like he's trying to sell them on who he is as opposed to actually have some type of meaningful connection. And I can see that because the times that we've seen Carrington talk to these women, again, he's asking them just like, okay, name your top three, name your top five. If this happens, how do you feel about this? It was never like a genuine conversation that just seemed to just kind of flow. Courtney then chimes in and says she has known Carrington for 5 years and he's a good guy and he is really ready for love. He's invested in the process. Sabrina said that she had a conversation with Carrington and she brought up their age difference because I believe Zadia is in her. Is she in her 50s? I'm gonna say she's in her 40s, late 40s, and she said that Carrington flipped out on her and said he's not gonna go back and forth with you about the age difference. Either you with it or you ain't. And if you're gonna complain about it, then it's an ain't. And I said, okay, attitude. And see, I feel like again that's a red flag on Carrington. What are you getting mad about? I feel like that's a genuine question to have because there's a maturity level and a maturity level difference that happens when people have such drastic age differences. So Tommy lets them know that two of them need to take two of the men out and let one of them know that they are being sent home. So basically you're supposed to go out on these dates, talk to them about the issues that the women are having with them, and then one of them is going to be told, but it's okay. It's okay. And then the other is going to be told that they're going to be sent home. So Camille takes out Carrington, and she gets right to the shits. Like, she comes in and was like, so we got some issues with you. There are concerns. There was a consensus. She said you have a wall up, and you have been very surface level with everyone. You're coming across as calculated. Carrington said, well, maybe my personality is being calculated. I said, well, nigga, what type of answer is that? What type of response is that to give? And he said that maybe it's that the other women don't know how to have a conversation. And I said, whoo, child, the defensiveness of it all. Okay. So then she was like, well, it's not going to work. So Carrington is being sent home, and he said that he is ready for love in this entire process, and the women involved were not for him. So then we have Tissia, who is out with Corey. Let's be real, y'all. She volunteered to do that because she wouldn't get no other dates. So she wanted this. She wanted this opportunity to go and try to spark a connection so that she could find herself on another date. So she told Corey that, well, for one, they come in, Corey is hugging her, and his hand was on the nape of her ass. And she was like, you need to lift your hand a little higher. So Corey said that his love language is physical touch, and that's why he was touching her. And she's telling Corey that, the women aren't feeling you. We're not feeling you because of your approach, how you're forming conversations, the way you're going about stuff is coming across as cringy. Corey is like confused. He doesn't understand what the problem is. And I'm like, Corey, what are you confused about? Sabrina literally told you you're not trying to have conversations. You're trying to just get on second and third dates with these women. And I think it's more or less to prove something to yourself because you keep saying how bad you are on second dates. So I think you want to get to a third date so you can feel, okay, maybe it hasn't been me. Maybe it's been the women all this time. I think that's what Corey is doing. So Tissia tells him that you are safe for now. We're going to give you another chance. We see that we see the potential is there. It's weird that they're keeping Corey around, but it's like we see the potential is there. And then Corey is like, so did I earn a second date? And it's kind of just like everything went completely over his head because he immediately flipped over towards being worried about and being concerned about and wondering if he is going to get a second date. And that is Ready to Love for this week. I am Tammy. Again, if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. Leave some comments down below. Do you feel that it was the right move to let Carrington go, or do you guys feel like, why is Corey still here? Let's talk about it.